Okay, so the mother set. I think it's a good one to do. You know, and I don't usually do similar yoga sequencing, but the mother set is so specific and it's been developed over several years to almost create a lymphatic flow in the body, but more than that, to bring you into the limbic brain, so that you can really tell the difference between when you're still thinking, you're doing warrior 2 and warrior 1 and going ha ha ha, whatever. You still might not be in that rhythmic place of limbic brain. And what this set specifically does is it drops you out of the thinking mind into the limbic. It creates flow for the lymphatic system. And it also moves through the early labor flow, and it's almost a story around what labor really is. So that's why this set is so specific, and it's also well worth setting intention for the movement patterns as well, and for this set as well. So just come to sitting down on your mat in your comfortable seated position. And begin to settle into your breath. Always taking that body weather reading. How am I today? How does my body feel? How does the pregnancy feel today? Good night, bad night. It's all going to reflect on this moment here and now. Busy times, slow times, all of it, just gathering that information and then using that to inform how you practice, whether you take it easy or whether you move with intention and focus, or if you just need to feel fluid in your body system. And as you begin to come into the quiet moments, bring your mind to your mother, whether she's still with you or not. And just sit for some moments with the feeling of your mother sitting beside you. And just notice what it feels like, her energy system beside you. And perhaps you get the feeling of her mother sitting beside her, your maternal grandmother, as you were already a snippet of a being inside your grandmother, because your mother developed the egg that will create you in your grandmother's womb. And that genetic link is so specific, so fascinating, this epigenetics. And so understanding that the environment that your grandmother was living in, whether it was happiness or fear, is all things that you've had to carry as well. And then coming very clearly into your own heart space and thanking your grandmother and your mother for the things that they have passed on to you that not only hold meaning, but are foundations for your own life. And then also taking a moment to recognize that as our times change and we evolve and we move into new patterns towards ascension, if you might, that there's some things that we might choose to leave behind from our mothers and grandmothers, some things that could have caused pain or just don't resonate anymore. Thanking them for all of the lessons, but coming into a clarity of what you choose to rewrite and recreate for your own child. What has worked to carry with, being clear about what doesn't work so you don't have to carry some of the same patterning, and leaving that behind. Setting a clear intention on the solstice day for the rest of the pregnancy, setting intention for how you want this birth to be, how you want to greet your child. And some of us have limited choices with our births, but within those limited choices, we still have choices. And so if you are going to be birthing your baby through an operation, it is still your birth. You get to say how it goes to a certain degree. So set that intention of how you get to meet your baby, regardless. It's your birth. It's your baby's birth. Taking a deep breath in and a long, soft breath out of the mouth 3 times. In through the nose. And a long breath out of the mouth, relaxed jaw. In through the nose. Final long breath out of the mouth. Grip the knees, lean forward. Take a deep breath in as you start to move your body around in a big circle. And as you do this, breathing in and out in big circular movements, starting to feel into a rhythm of the breath, of movement. Beautiful. And just feeling that movement around womb space, baby in practice with you. Changing the direction, going the other way. Beautiful. Reaching for your shin and foot now. Inhale, press the chest open. Look up. Exhale, chin down, round. Again, continuing in your rhythm. Flexing and extending the spine. Getting the energy moving. Beautiful. And coming to center now. Extend your left leg out. Gently bow over the left leg. No need to flex the left foot or tighten the leg. Keep a loose body, loose jaw, relaxed mind. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweep your right arm out and back, looking to your thumb. Inhale, fold forward. Exhale, take your arm at a slightly different level and place. Inhale as you fold forward. Exhale, sweep that right arm up to a new space. Your proprioceptive vision moving into these new spaces with each exhale. Be quite purposeful with the movement. Feel into the shoulder, the ribs, the front body, but keep it rhythmic. Fall into the feeling of your breath in and out, the rhythm of the movements following the rhythm of your breath. Tip number 1 for labor, find your rhythm. And finally, you gently fall forward and pause. Relax your whole body. Tip 2, use the spaces between surges and really relax into them. The spaces are golden. Your midwives, your doctors are going to be looking for the surges, the dilation, all of that. But people are forgetting the most important part are the spaces where you relax, the surges happen, the body is dilating. Use the spaces, come into them, drop into them. Deep inhale, exhale, place your right palm to the ground behind you and reach your left arm up and over. Inhale, fold forward. Exhale, find a new place to place your right palm and reach up and over. And again, find that rhythm, moving into the limbic brain. Your thinking neocortex is useless in labor. In fact, it's worse than useless. It gets in the way. It impedes your labor. Whereas movement like this, the flow of it, takes you into endorphin and oxytocin, and that's what you need to labor effectively. And birth, any kind of birth. If you birth your baby with high endorphins and oxytocin, they come into a place of feeling trust in this world. I can trust, because those are the hormones of trust. And what a privilege, bringing your child into the world, feeling that sense of trust. And finally, let's take it back into the forward fold. Relax. Relax your head, your shoulders. You're in the space. You let it go. No activity. Your brain doesn't have to work. You just let go and relax. You can continue to do the same as we did in the previous cycle, or you can choose to elevate. Take a deep inhale, exhale, place your right palm to the ground, lift your baby, reach for the sky, open your heart. Carefully come down and fold on the inhale. You might choose to stay as you did previously with buttocks to the earth, you choose. Remember to find a new placement for the palm each time so that you move outside of your usual patterning and into new spaces, continuously retraining your brain, because it is plastic. We can train our brain to find new ways to understand pain. We can train our brain to reframe pain and call it intensity. But only if we choose to find those new pathways and groove them so that we can understand and reframe. Beautiful. Just a few more. Getting into the lymphatics underneath the armpits and in the groin area, getting everything moving, nothing stagnant. Moving outside of negative patterning that could have been passed on through several generations. And sometimes we wonder why it's so stubborn. Well, you've had a couple of generations for it to settle. That's why it's stubborn. Is it possible to acknowledge and move outside of that stubbornness and forge new ways? Absolutely. But we have to invite, understand, and take the new pathways. The next time you rise, hold. And take 3 big breaths, heart wide and open. Gently come on down. Softly fold, let your shoulders relax. Your head release. And just fall into a velvety, dark spaciousness. Walk your palms, rise. Extend your right leg out. Interlace your hands, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, side bend to one side, deepen, maybe touch your toes. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the side. Find your rhythm. Keep going. Deep breaths, working inside the breaths, as slow, as quick as feels good for you. And no struggle, no pulling, just flowing movement. If you can get into this patterning for labor and you don't struggle through your labor, it feels good. It actually feels good. And you'll get to the end not feeling exhausted, but feeling triumphant. You did it. And with the endorphins and the oxytocin flowing through your body, after baby is born, you get the biggest oxytocin hit. And it's incredible. Bathing in that oxytocin, the two of you, it is the most incredible feeling in the world. Over to one side, wherever it is, lean into it and roll your wrist out, changing direction whenever you feel like it. So just roll one way, then the other way with that wrist, really getting into the joints. By getting into the joints, we're moving out of any stagnant places. Sometimes the joints and the joint capsules become stagnant. That means that energy through your body also becomes stagnant. And today we're going to release it all. Beautiful. Rise and take it over to the other side. Do the same again. Relax your neck. Work into the joints. And it is so okay to drop into your most sensuous self. You're not thinking of control in this set. You're not thinking of where to place your feet or how to organize your body. All that you're doing is finding a deeply sensuous patterning and complete delight in the body. And rise. Bring your palms to the ground in front of you. Press into your finger pads. Inhale, stretch your chest up. Exhale, flat palms, bow. Inhale, pull into the finger pads, straighten the arms, pull the chest forward, look up. Flat palms, round and bow. One more time. Inhale, press into the fingers, lift the gaze, open the chest. Exhale, bow. And hold here for 3 full breaths. You might walk your palms further forward. You might come onto the forearms. Relax the shoulders, relax your head, relax your jaw. Walking your palms back. Hook your fingers underneath your right knee. Unlock the knee and bring the right foot into the inner left thigh. Wrong side. Left foot into the inner right thigh. What am I doing? And gently fold forward over your right leg this time. Taking a few deep breaths, completely relaxing the shoulders, the jaw, the neck. Let's flow. The inhale is as you bow. Exhale, sweep your left arm around, spread your fingers, reach to the end points. Inhale, soften, let go. Exhale, find a new place. Reach your palm lower or higher. Inhale, soften, and keep going. Find your rhythm. Third tip for labor, breathe, breathe, breathe. These movements helping you stay connected with the breath. Purposeful inhales, long exhales. Welcome to practice labor breath whenever you feel like it. Labor breath is in through the nose, out through the mouth, and a long, relaxed exhale. Coming into that intention of repatterning, letting go of the old, inviting the new. As we move into new essential cycles on this earth, having to change our frequency as well. And that means moving only from a place of love, not fear. Birthing from a place of love, not fear. Gently fold forward, relax, let go. Inhale deeply. Exhale, left palm comes to the ground and reach and extend. Inhale, float the torso and bow. Exhale, find a new place to place your left palm as you reach over. And spiral through the spine. Feel open and free, non-stuck, non-linear, expansive. And if you can truly come into this place of fluidity, parenting is easier. When you feel stuck, the parenting does too. When you're fluid and you can meet your child where they are, not where you feel they should be or how you want things to be, but instead just open your heart and find them as they are and respond as they are, all will be well. Fold forward and let go. Relax. Find the spaces. You can choose to continue as you were or take it high. Inhale down, exhale, left palm to the ground, rise and up. Open the heart, maybe it's the side body, wherever you are. Flow, find your rhythm, and explore. And it's not about big effort. Labor doesn't have to be about big effort. It's just about finding the flow and the freedom and following it. And finally, we'll rise and hold for 3 breaths, heart wide and open. Gently come down, fold forward, and melt into the space. Walk your palms back, raise the chest, and bring the soles of the feet together. Somebody asked for the recipe. I've made a little video, I'll post it. Interlace your hands around the toes, lengthen up through the spine. Take 3 breaths here. The recipe for bowel release and healthy digestion: 1/2 liter of warm water, 1/4 teaspoon of chia seeds, let them soak for a minute or 2, pop in a couple of drops of doTERRA essential oil or some fresh lemon juice. Drink it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, and then begin to do this. Rock side to side, stimulating the stomach meridians that run through the seat bones, swishing that water in the belly. It helps with heartburn as well, and nausea too. And the chia seeds, obviously high in omegas, omega-3s. Beautiful. Just finding your rocking motion. Again, feeling fluid, easeful, no effort. And gently come to center, slide your heels away, and softly fold over, baby, between your thighs. Relax your shoulders, relax your head. Take several breaths into the space. Gently lift the gaze. Bring your knees together. Come onto all fours. Open your knees wide. Child's pose. Sacrum broad and wide. When you do this in early labor, it helps to invite an awareness of the labor. Baby coming soon. Relaxes the spine. Releases any tension in the lower back from back labor. And also opens the inner thighs. Coming onto all fours now. Cat and cow will be mobilizing the joints as well. This takes surges through the spine so that your spine doesn't lock up. Tuck your toes under, push into the ball mounts, pull into the heels of the hands, stretch the chest forward, look up, inhale. Exhale, flat feet, temple the fingertips so that we work into every joint of the body as you round and cascade relax the head. Flat palms, tuck toes, grip the palms, pull into the heels of the hands, press into the toes, lift the gaze, and continue in your own rhythm. Purposeful spinal rolls, templing the palms with each exhale as you mount the spine, flat palms and toes tucked as you take your gaze up to the sky. Big breaths, really enjoying the breaths. This releases sacral plate fixations, the base of the spine. And the rocking motion can help create the space at the top of the pelvis for baby to move deeper. Beautiful. Coming to neutral spine now. Extend your left leg back and place the foot into the ground. Inhale, sweep the left arm around in big wide arcs and just continue on the left side. Big sweeps. Rolling around, baby, sweeping that arm back and around again. Beautiful lymphatic movements. Explorative breaths. Really feel your way into the breath. Beautiful. Stabilizing deep transverse muscles. Reach the left arm straight up. If you don't have pubic symphysis pain today, you can lift that left leg parallel to the ground and hold. If it creates a feeling of lightening inside the crotch, don't do it. Look past your right palm, bend your left knee, gently swing the foot forward. And both hands on the inside of the left leg. Rocking lunges. Again, if you have pubic symphysis pain, don't take the lunges too deep. Otherwise, early labor flow we're moving into now, in case you hadn't guessed. These movements really helping baby to orient the birth canal, shortens the labor, a great distraction tool during the early stages, and warms the pelvis and body for a quicker delivery. Beautiful. So good. Straighten that left leg, flex the foot, press into your finger pads, pull your chest forward, inhale, press through your seat bones. Exhale, bring the ball down to the ground, bow. Inhale, flex the foot, dig the heel back, look up. Exhale, point the toes, bring them to the ground and bow. And just continue to do that. We're now pumping the lymphatic through the legs, particularly in later stage pregnancies when sometimes the ankles can get a bit swollen, everything starts to feel a bit heavy. This is so good, helping to avoid varicose veins as well. But because baby takes up so much energy space and everything else in the pelvis, sometimes the legs do get a little bit short on energy. Flex that foot, walk the palms forward and bow deeply, getting a good hamstring stretch. You can squeeze the right knee and left heel towards each other to traction a little bit deeper. if you wish. Beautiful. Walk your palms back. Bend your left knee and slide your foot off to the diagonal. So the heel is diagonally opposite to the left, to the right knee, foot off the mat, and stir the pot. So in the yoga traditions, the hips relate to ancestral holding, ancestral patterning, and when we unlock the hips, we also unlock our past. We're able to release a lot of it, which is why they do so much hip work in the yoga way of doing things, so that you can finally come to sit in your meditation pose, which is your lotus. And without open hips, the meditations become extremely difficult to maintain because our body is so uncomfortable. But by unlocking stagnant energy in the hips and allowing for free flow, we're able to sit comfortably and meditate. But I found that the same for labor. Unlock the hips and you can labor freely. Beautiful. And from here, straighten the left leg, slide it away, and just take 3 or 4 breaths in that lovely stretch, just because it feels good. Opening the palms out, walking them forward. Walking your hands back, slide that left heel so that it is now opposite the right foot and out to the side. I'll change the angle of the camera so that you can see left heel opposite the right leg and perpendicular out to the side. Place your left forearm on your thigh. We're now going to take it into the final rotation. Swing low to the left as you sweep your right arm across your front body. Exhale, rise and sweep the arm back. Still working on a multifunctional level, both into the hips and the lymphatics, and feeling into that breath and noticing what it feels like in the hips to take it into this rotation. Again, pubic symphysis, don't go too deep, please. Beautiful. You're still in your flow, out of thinking mind. Can you see how rhythmic movement takes you out of that thinking and into the limbic? So important to labor effectively. Gently come down onto the right heel, place your palm to the ground behind you. You can skip this or rise and arc. In labor, if anybody tells you the baby is too high and sitting above the pubic bone, do this, and it can bring baby down. And you have control. In spinning babies, they put you on a bed over a rolled up yoga mat underneath the lower back, come on down. And quite frankly, it's agony, it's uncomfortable, and other people are manipulating your body. If you have full sovereignty, full autonomy over your own body, you can do all of those moves, particularly if you have the strength. Coming back onto all fours. Walk your palms forward, and let's roll the hips out in big, wide hip rolls. Relax your head and just let the hips move, changing direction whenever you feel like it. And if it feels good, just do what feels good. Beautiful. Walk your palms forward and sink your chest to the ground. 3 deep breaths and melting heart. This pose can feel amazing. And usually, if you've got heartburn, it can help to relieve it in labor. So if you feel like you're just nauseous, just want to throw up all the time, stick your bum up in the air, bring your heart down to a cushion, and spend a few breaths here, and it really can help. It can help to position a baby that's occipital, so a baby that's turned slightly and you want to get into a better position. Bum up, chest down can help to do that too. Walk your hands back. Lengthen your right leg out behind you and take several big sweeps of the right arm all the way around in those big halo movements. Following the breath, following the breath. Beautiful. Reach that right arm straight up. If you have it in you, float your right leg parallel to the ground and hold. Bring your right knee towards you, step it forward and rock the lunge. All these cycles, this low lunge cycle, helping to prepare, open, and get baby into good position. And while doing this, again, just bringing your own ancestry to mind, what it is that you're bringing with you, what it is that you're leaving behind. Deep gratitude either way. Straighten that right leg, flex the foot. Press into your finger pads, lift the heart, flex the foot, inhale, exhale, point the toe and bow down. Pumping the lymphatic through those legs should feel good, particularly if it's been feeling heavy. Just getting the energy moving, working into the ankle joint as well, moving any stagnant energy. Flex that foot now and bow. Hold. Beautiful. Slide that right foot off to the right side to stir the pot. Big mobile movements of the hips. You're shimmying and rocking and circling and doing what feels good. Just imagining that between surges, uterus is completely relaxed. And in this way, just giving opportunity for baby to orient. So mostly baby has to do the navigating. However, these movements can help if baby's feeling a bit stuck. If, for instance, you've had a fall before many years ago and the tailbone is slightly swift, then you need to help your baby to get into a good position because they might be having to navigate some pretty weird and narrow spaces. Every type of hip a little bit different, and your baby has to figure it out. But you're helping, you're helping. Beautiful. Straighten that right leg, slide it off to the side. Arms in a wide V. Baby on the inside of that thigh. Bow deep. Spread yourself thin and enjoy the stretch. Walking your palms back. We're now going to take that right foot opposite the left knee. Right shin parallel out to the side. Right forearm to the thigh. Swing low all the way down to the right as you sweep that left arm up and back. Beautiful. Again, you're in your flow, you're in your rhythm. And for those of you who did the couples workshop, all of this is in the cheat sheet about to come to you. I'm just trying to embed links. And that cheat sheet is amazing for your partners to look and see which part of labor you may well be in. Beautiful. Sink down onto your left heel, left palm to the ground. Rise and arc. And this is where you can help your baby to drop deeper if baby's stuck above your pubic bone. It happens. And gently come on down and back onto all fours. Open the knees wide and take a space. Relax. Let go. Soften the shoulders, head. Coming back onto all fours, tucking your toes under. Scoop baby into the spine and press back to a downward facing dog. We'll take a few deep breaths in a still dog. So a downward facing dog is amazing for bringing extra oxygen to your baby, for lengthening the spine and releasing tension in the spine, for releasing tension in the shoulders and around the neck, particularly if you relax your neck. Getting the adductors ready for the pushing stage. Beautiful. Your partner can do thigh squeezes, thigh rolls here, sacral squeezes, and it can feel really good. It's an empowering pose if you're flagging and you're losing energy. Coming into downward facing dog and bring energy back into the body. Step your feet as wide as your mat, turn your toes out slightly, walk your hands back, and sit down in your squat. Transition and pushing stage, you're not going to be in your squat. You'll be on hands and knees, or one leg up is the best way to birth, or a supported squat where you're not all the way deep down, but rather back, being supported by your partner, legs wider and more forward. Straightening the legs, building trust, cultivating that trust in the legs. Inhale, press into the feet, rise. Deep breath in as you reach for the sky and draw in the light. Exhale, come on down. Skip these if it's too much. Inhale. Draw in your strength, your power. Beautiful. And final time. Breathe in the light, let go of the charcoal, make space for trust. Take a moment here. Fingertips come to the ground, lift the hips. Heel toe the feet, hips distance apart, walk your hands forward, you're back in your downward facing dog. Think about which foot you step forward to orient to the long side of your mat, so that you have the best view of the camera. Once you've decided, step your foot forward, turn the toes out 40 degrees and rise. You're now in star, breathing through the central channel of the body. Imagine baby surrounded by light beings. Another deep breath. Might need to broaden your stance. Mudra your fingers, so index and thumb together, fingers out. Reach the arms up, place your thumbs together. Take a deep inhale, exhale, bend your knees, bring your elbows into your waist. Sun Goddess cycle. Don't straighten the legs all the way this time. Part way, fingers touch. Exhale, come down. Now we'll practice Kali's breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale over the tongue. Tongue out. Kali is the goddess of death, destruction, and birth. We have to let go of the old. A complete destruction of the old patterning and our old being as we are reborn as mothers through the process of birth and movement into motherhood. Calling on the goddess Kali is necessary at some point. Continue in the labor, because you are going to get to a phase where you think, this is hard, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Just remember this, and remember that you are dying to your old, and being reborn is hard. And you're going to keep going. When you want to give up, you're going to keep going, and remember the goddess Kali. Beautiful. Keep going. She is fierce. Nothing gets in her way. Beautiful. Keep going. She has a whole lot of skulls around her neck, because if things get in her way, she just chops her head off and places them around her neck so she never forgets what got in her way. So that she keeps her focus, doesn't drop that focus, keeps going to birth the new. Keep going, almost there. In through the nose. I am stronger than I think. I am stronger than I know. I am becoming mother. Place your hands on your knees. Pause. Straighten your legs, turn your toes in. Catch your shins. Relax your neck, bracing the arms. Walk your palms forward, place the hands on the ground. Keep your neck relaxed, shoulders soften, and just let everything stabilize. This is a really good position for labor. Really amazing, particularly if you've got your arms up on a bed or anything else. Legs are wide, partner can give you sacral squeezes, thigh rolls, the hips are open, the front of the belly is tilting forward, which feels amazing in labor. It can be an incredibly empowering pose as well. Slowly walk your hands up your thighs, rise. Turn your right toes to the short edge of your mat. Open your arms out. Deep inhale. Exhale over to the right, right palm to the shin, reach your left arm high. Now this pose is important to not only labor flow and mother set cycle. Why? Because it allows the baby to find internal rotation if they need it. So if your care provider is saying your baby is a little bit backwards, in other words, the back of their head is against the back of your pelvis, your tailbone, you're going to take this pose, take a few breaths here, and allow the baby to find its way, and trust that. Your birth partner can even massage in downward strokes. Beautiful. And rise, hands to the hips, rotate the right toes, rotate the left toes. Right toes face long edge, left toes face short edge. Open the arms, deep inhale, extend, palm to the shin, reach your top arm high. And breathe deep. Relax the uterus. Keep the chest open. It's not falling or caving in around your baby. There's space, broad width. Beautiful. Right hand to the hip, rise, both hands to the hips. And then from here, fold deeply. Toes face the front of the long edge of your mat. Step your feet off the back of your mat and bring your knees down onto your mat. Open your knees wide and turn your toes out. Your shins are parallel to each other in your frog, coming onto the forearms. When you do frog, when you're in labor, you know you're in labor because frog is finally a really comfortable pose that feels good. Especially if it was a pose that you really didn't like pre-labor. During labor, it'll feel good, and you know that you're well on your way to birthing your baby. This is a great position in a birth pool to birth a baby. You have the support of the water, the knees are nice and wide, and it's a natural position to just fall into to want to birth. However, for some of you that have very narrow hips, I'm going to show you a different position now that may be a better position for you. In the birth pool though, more often than not, I see women come into this shape to birth. Why? It helps to stretch the perineum as baby comes down during surges. Just taking a few more deep breaths. Arms to the mat. Bring your heels first towards each other, then slide your knees. I'd like to show you from the back the other variation. Now, when we have our knees wide, our hip bones kind of come in a little bit, and that's fine when baby's all the way down and in towards the perineum. At some stage, you might need to lift one knee to help the shoulders through. However, for somebody with smaller hips, you're going to take your knees and bring them together. You're going to go, what? That closes my vagina. Actually, it doesn't. Because just now when you lean forward, you'll see why. So with the knees together, the hips actually broaden. Here's my knees. now these, my elbows and my hip bones, what's happening? They're pushing outward, right? So here, leaning forward, knees together, this will actually widen the hip bones out and allow you to birth your baby more easily, particularly for those of you with smaller hips. If you're birthing a big baby, you're going to have one leg up, both hands down. That's to birth your big baby. Yep, that's the way. One leg up, hands down, and that'll birth your big baby for you. Beautiful. Coming onto the knees and just sitting on your heels. Beginning to come into the quiet as you slowly begin to release your breath and allow it to find its own natural ebb and flow. Notice how the mind feels after all that movement. You should be firmly in the limbic space, where you can simply feel this kind of floating spaciousness, no crowding thoughts. Relax the lips. And now as you breathe in through the nose, allow the exhale to move through softly parted lips. Let your body relax completely with each exhale. Golden thread breath, breath that can be used from beginning to end of labor whenever it feels good or mindful to do so. If you are adding the visualization, you'll imagine a golden thread streaming from the lips, seeing it flickering and spinning and shining. The exhale breath like a fine filament of silk. It's a good breath to practice before bed, when you're transitioning between activities and the busyness of a day. Just helps you to change your gears and find your way. Beautiful. And then the other breath that is really, really good to use, you can place hand to heart, hand to belly, is the toning breath, the humming breath. In yoga, it's called the humming bee or the bumbling bee. Inhaling through the nose and just toning deep and low in the chest rather than through the mouth. And you'll just do that on each exhale breath. And that is the breath that I'd like you to practice when you come down to your Shavasana. So come down into your comfortable Shavasana position and relax your body completely and do at least 10 cycles of your toning breath. And just allow it to move through the throat. Feel it reverberating around your baby like a little sonic massage. Allow your whole body to relax into the floor or the couch or the bed or the cushions. And practice that for as long as you wish. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Mother Set. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.